welcome back to another Sister Bump.
I feel like I have to hold it to clarify because it's not that big, you know?
I don't know if you can see this, but it's here.
Oh.
We don't have very many of these left. We'll probably do like one more before the baby gets here, like an update. And the babies will be here.
It's the most cliche saying, but it's like, everyone's like, does it go by so fast? And I'm like, no. It does. Like, it really does, but you feel like you've been pregnant for so long. Like, I can't believe we only have like weeks left.
Yeah. Crazy. Time is a really weird thing when you're pregnant because it seems to fly by, but also like stand still.
Yeah. And that's the only time in my life where I've felt like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing is when you have the baby, time flies by. Like so fast. You want it to stand still because they get big so fast, but time just flies.
It's crazy because like the people that I follow that I've been following their pregnancy and now they have their babies. I'm like, how did that happen so fast? Mm-hmm. And then like now their babies are months old. I'm like, they just had their baby.
Yeah. I know.
I don't want that to happen to me. I want it to go by slow.
I know. I feel like
slow but fast.
I was just thinking last night about how I have to take in every single second, so I hope I'm not stressed out with this baby because I know she'll be my last.
Yeah, and do you feel like you feel that feeling that you're done?
Feeling. I do feel that way.
You're
really
glad
do.
to be done?
I don't know if I'm glad. It's not like a happy
but it's feeling. Like a feeling you're like, I'm done.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I would love to have more. I just don't think that I could do it.
Yeah. We'll see. Jackson's like, the way that you talk about being pregnant now, he's like, I know in 3 months. You'll be like, let's do it again. Mm-hmm. Like, do I make it sound that bad? He's like, no, but just, he's like, you can tell in your body language, it's like not as easy for you.
Yeah. The end of your pregnancy is more difficult just to like do things and you get bigger and you're uncomfortable. But you also just forget all of that once the baby gets here and you're like, I could be pregnant for 2 years to get this baby. But I just feel like the reason I feel like I'm going to be done is because I will have 4 kids. Mm-hmm. And the way that I've spaced my kids out makes me want to be done more because my older kids are so much older. Yeah. And I want to be able to like be there for all of them. And I feel like when I'm having little babies, it's harder to be there for my older ones because babies require so much. So I just think it's like balancing out and I do feel good about it. Yeah. So
are you going to do anything permanent or are you going to like wait it out and make sure?
I'm not going to. I have been asked if I wanted my tubes tied because I'm having a
C-section.
C-section.
Like, oh, the pressure.
And I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not something that I'm like, I feel like maybe I should. Just like, I don't want to get my tubes tied. They asked me that with Winston too. If I wanted my tubes tied. And I knew with Winston that I wanted one more. So I was like, nope. But
nope, not doing that.
But Casey actually like he feels really good about being done, and he's like, you should just do it. I just
like you do it.
That's just like a weird feeling to me. Yeah. I know everyone is different about it. Like some women want to get their tubes tied. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think intuition is the best thing to go with. Yeah. So don't.
And I also feel like Casey should have to do something.
Yes, that's what I'm all about, you know? Like, I've done the 4 babies. It's your turn. You go get those little testes.
Yeah. It's so funny when I talk about it because Casey's just like, I can't talk about it. I can't think about it.
Casey's such like a freak though when it comes to the hospital.
He hates hospitals.
Freaks him out.
So I'm very grateful to him because he's always been so good to me when I've had babies and he stays because I want him to. It's really hard for him to just be there, but he stays with me the whole time.
It's good for you to do hard things.
This time will be different because we'll be closer to the hospital than we've ever been before.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, it will be better for him. He can at least like go home and shower and like.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Jackson's going to do that because I know that it's hard for them because you have a bed. Right. Those beds are kind of ridiculously like small. So I wonder if Jackson will come home and shower and stuff. Yeah. I can see him not wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Babe, you need to go shower.
Come back later.
Come back after you've showered.
Yeah. Anyways, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling
ready. You have even less time than me. You are feeling ready?
Yes. Well, I am. Like, in a way, nothing is ready. The room just got painted, which is so fine. We do have a lot of time. And I think it'll be fun just to take this last month to just kind of like enjoy it, you know? Because I don't think we're going to get pregnant right away again, maybe 2 years or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I just think like I'm just going to enjoy it because I know, like you said, as soon as the baby's going to be here, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did that happen so fast? Yeah. And I really, really want to take a day or a weekend to go do like one little last thing as just our little family. Yeah. and kind of like make Cooper feel like we're celebrating him becoming a big brother. So he feels very involved. I saw this couple, they like had their son put all the ideas he wanted to do, and they like surprised him and did it all in one day.
Cute.
It was such like a day date. So we can't, I really want to go to Disneyland. Jackson has put a damper on that. He's convinced I'm going to go into labor on the airplane. If we had this baby in Disneyland, I heard you get free Disneyland passes. I'm like, it's worth it.
Yeah, let's try it.
He's like, you're crazy, no. So I think we'll do something like maybe take him up to like a hotel and go swimming. I don't know, whatever he wants to do. So
Yeah.
it'll just be fun to enjoy this last little month. Our car seat got recalled. So I was like feeling good about that because I'm like, I really have everything in the car seat. Like that's really all I need. And then it got recalled. So I'm like, oh, so we have to start over.
Yeah. I know I haven't gotten a car seat either.
And there's so many options. I'm like, oh my hell. I cannot decide.
It's like, which one is best? Which one is really good? Which one is trendy? That's the thing. Like, you know, you want to get the ones that people are posting on Instagram, but then it's like,
so much
is it
money.
really like, yeah, they're expensive, and are they better?
And they don't have cup holders. I need a good cup holder. I'm like, stroller.
I just really, really want a car seat that is comfortable. My babies have always hated them.
Yeah.
And I heard that there is one, like I read in the reviews that their babies didn't cry in them, and it was the first time that they had
Is it the Up Baby?
It's
Or
a
Maxi?
Cozy.
Yeah, that one.
And so that's the one that I think I'm going to get, but I'm still doing a little more research. Because it's expensive. I was like...
Jackson and I walked into Toys R Us and we went and looked at all of them, and then we're like, this is overwhelming. Let's leave and go get food. I was like, okay. There's so many options.
It is. It is hard because you just want to get the right thing.
Yeah.
But then you also know, like, they're going to grow out of these things so quickly.
Yeah.
But
plus, doing research stresses me out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't feel like I can pull the trigger on, like, there's so many good options that I can't figure out the one. It's just too stressful. So then I give up. Like, fine, I'll just start shopping.
let us know if you have a car seat that you have loved. That would be very helpful.
I know. I've said this in like 5 videos, and people, I like screenshot all these recommendations, and then I'm like, stressing me out. I don't want to choose. But yeah, are you guys ready?
We're not ready really in that way, but I'm also not like super stressing about it because we've never been ready. Like we've never had a nursery. We've never had like things, you know, all put together. And I know as soon as I get a car seat and a bassinet, we'll be like good to go.
Yeah.
Because I want her room in with Winston, but I don't think it's going to like be complete.
Right.
And that's okay with me.
Yeah. I just feel like they don't need as much. Like this time around, it's like, yeah, they don't need as much as you think they do. We have so many clothes and blankets and like all those things. And so I feel good about that. But
They'll be dressed and warm.
yeah, I just keep forgetting I have to give birth.
Yeah, I know. That's
So I like get anxious, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have to do all that really hard stuff. I don't know if I'm ready to do that again.
yeah, that is like, you can't really prepare for that, I feel like.
I don't know how it's going to go.
Right.
Like with Cooper, I was induced, and that made it so much harder. I was in labor for 2 days. That was so hard. And so this time around, I'm like, who knows what's going to happen, you know? It's like the hard thing is not knowing.
Yeah.
But the good news is I lived through the first one, so hopefully I live through this one. Fingers crossed.
I know. I was just actually thinking about this last night as well. I took a really long bath, just thinking of all of the things that were going to be happening, and it does make me really scared to go in and know that I'm getting a C-section.
Yeah.
It just makes me so nervous every time.
Well, yeah, they're cutting you open with a knife.
Yeah, but the thing that scares me the very most is the IV. Like that is the
Priorities, people.
scariest part to me. I hate needles, and IVs hurt so bad. So
Yeah.
it's just like knowing that you're going in for all that. But then it's like, it's going to be okay. Like, just try to relax because you're going to get a little baby.
Jackson's like, well, you're going to get an epidural. It doesn't hurt that bad. I'm like, have you seen the epidurals? The needle's like this long.
Don't ever look at it. I haven't ever let myself look at an epidural or
Yeah.
watch a C-section.
And the worst part is like the doctor makes you sit like this on the edge of your bed, and then they'll say, okay, crunch over. I'm like, I can't crunch anything.
I
And
know,
this
it's like-
he's like, okay, crunch over. I'm like, I know I'm so fat you can't see my spine, but find it. Find it when you're back there. Okay, I just remember my other doctor kept telling me, crunch over. I'm like, I can't crunch.
Like, I'm crunched.
There's a huge ball right here.
I know, it is
This
really,
is as
really
crunchy as it
awkward.
gets with my neck. Can you find it through my neck?
With my other ones, Casey was with me. So with Brayley and Gage, he was able to like hold my hands and hold me while I got it.
That's what
'Cause
Jackson's
it's like
gonna
a
have to do.
scary thing. When I had Winston, they wouldn't let Casey in.
Weird.
And I was like, what? I have to get, it's a spinal block that they do for a C-section, but it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to do this by myself. And thank goodness I had the cutest, nicest nurse. And I was like, can I please hold your hands? And she was like holding me while I got it. I was so grateful, but it was so terrible to not have him there.
Yeah, that would be. I wonder if I could get a spinal block and an epidural.
Just give them all to me.
Have two? Hit me twice while you're back there,
I can't remember the difference.
I think one only lasts a certain amount of time, and an epidural you can keep adding.
Right, yeah. So the spinal block is just like a shot, kind of. An epidural is they put it into your back so that they can continue to give you the medicine because you'll be in labor longer.
Yeah, because they don't know how long. Okay, that's the difference. Yeah, so I feel like I should get both because you just double trouble. You never know.
I don't want to feel a thing.
I want to feel like I'm on drugs.
When I was in labor with Braylee, my contractions were so bad and nonstop. And I was in so much pain that I wanted to feel pain somewhere else. So I was like relieved to get the epidural. Really? Is that so weird? Because I just was cramping so bad, with contractions. I was like relieved to feel pain in my back rather than like the contractions.
Anywhere else. I remember with Cooper, I could feel only like one spot of my skin, and I kept looking down because I thought Cooper's foot was coming through my hip. Like for some reason, and I don't know why this happened. I don't know if my nerves had settled weird, but it like everything else was numb, but this one spot on my stomach, and it just felt like my skin was ripping. Like every time I'd go to push, I was like, he's coming out my hip. Ugh. Like I kept looking. Like my mom's like, he's not coming out your hip. Quit looking there.
But to only be able to feel that one spot,
yeah, and it was just like, I'm sorry, it was just, here's my belly. It was just like this little circle, and I just kept looking like, oh my gosh. So I hope that does not happen.
That happened last time.
Yeah, like don't forget this circle spot. Hit me right here too.
You can make sure I cannot feel this.
I don't want him to come out my hip again. It's the worst.
So, now that you have gotten a little farther along, are people like saying anything about your belly, or like have you heard any weird comments with this pregnancy or with your pregnancy with Cooper?
Yeah, I've had a couple comments that I'm like, are you serious? But whatever. Like this cutest old grandpa called me big. He was like, women are beautiful when they're big with child. I was like it kind of sounded animalistic, like I'm big with child. Thank you, old man. He was this cutest little old grandpa, so it couldn't like hurt my feelings.
He meant well.
What about, has anybody said anything weird to you?
Not this pregnancy, but when I was pregnant with Braylee, I gained a lot of weight and I retained so much water. Like I don't think, looking back, it was actually healthy. I was so puffy, and I worked at a movie store, so I saw a lot of people, and I had so many people ask me if I was having twins. So many people asked me if I was having twins. I had one guy ask me how far along I was, and I think I had like a month and a half left. I was just getting ready to quit, and he was like, geez, isn't it about time to free Willie? And I just remember thinking, like, what does that mean?
He's never been around a pregnant person.
No, he had kids. And that's what I thought. Like, I wonder what you said to your wife when she was pregnant. Or maybe she was, like, so tiny and I'm just so huge. But that was, like, still to this day, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's one thing to say, like, because a girl just barely at the grocery store was like, oh, when are you due? And I was like, April. And she, like, looked down on my belly, and it was just, like, all on her face. She's like, that's going to be a big baby. Like, you know what she was meaning? I was like,
thanks.
Just tips. Don't ever comment on how big or small a pregnant girl is. Because I also learned, like, if somebody called me tiny, I'd be like, oh, thanks. But I know that can hurt some people's feelings because some women want to have the bump. And so if they, like, have a smaller bump, and everyone holds it differently, it hurts their feelings. But for me, if someone's like, oh, you're not even showing, I'd be like, thank you.
Yeah.
The 5 cheeseburgers I had today aren't even showing.
So I looked up some different things that people should not say to pregnant women. And one of them is, was it planned? And I got this question a lot when I was pregnant with Braylee because we had only been married for a couple of months when I got pregnant. And no, it wasn't planned. But still to have people be like,
that's just like very personal. Like, it's none of your business.
Like, what do you mean by that? No, it wasn't planned, but we're happy.
Were you planned? Did your parents plan on having you? That's what I would say. Turn it around on them, you know?
Yeah. So don't say that to people.
That seems
even
like
if you're
obvious.
wondering, they'll tell you. And I feel like, if you're talking about a pregnancy, if I would have been talking about having Braylee, I probably would have been like, we didn't mean to, but yeah, she was the best surprise ever.
Sillies.
I don't know if anyone asked you this, but did you take fertility drugs?
That one, I think we were pretty open, and like, you know me, I tell everybody everything, so I think most people knew. But a lot of people were curious about the drugs and why we took them.
Yeah.
And so that one didn't bother me because it was like, yeah, that was our story. We did tell it, but
nobody ever asked me
random.
that. Yeah, and this says, getting pregnant isn't easy for everyone, and the struggle with fertility is emotionally and financially exhausting.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That can be sensitive for some people. I just think when it comes to it, like, let them, the pregnants, that's what Jackson calls me. I'm the pregnants. He's like, let them do the initiating and the leading of the conversation. You just be supportive.
And I think that this is most commonly asked when people are pregnant with multiples.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, have I ever asked someone that? Like, you know, when you see someone who's had twins, like, oh, were you like on fertility medicine?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's kind of more common because twins aren't a thing that happen you know, so it's like, oh, that's so, it's like a cool thing, like, oh, what'd you do to get them, you know?
So this is something to say instead of that is, do multiples run in your family? Which is,
oh, smart.
That is better. So if you're curious, just ask that. Oh, this is one that I've heard before. You look like you're ready to pop.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop you right in the mouth.
I feel like I did get that. I've gotten that, like, comments kind of like this with every pregnancy at the end. And that's the worst because you feel like you're waddling. You can't move. Like, you're just, like, so big. It's like, yeah, I feel like I'm going to pop. I know I look like I'm going to pop. I feel like I'm going to pop. Thanks.
I hate grocery shopping, but I love grocery carts because it, like, stabilizes me when I'm walking. And I just, like, I'm, like, down the aisle, like, waddling with my grocery cart.
Oh, I just noticed that this says things that you should say instead. So you could ask them, how are you feeling?
It's like a therapy session. How does this make you feel?
Guess what she'll probably say? Like I'm ready to pop.
Like SHIT.
This is one that I said that a lot of people ask me, are you sure there aren't twins in there? I got this comment so many times when I was pregnant with Braylee.
When I was pregnant with Cooper, somebody said that to me, like, oh, are you sure you're not having twins? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I would know, but thanks for that one.
So if you're really curious if someone is having twins, say, oh, do you know what you're having? Because if there's more than one, then they'll tell you. Can I touch your belly? Does that bother you?
No one's done that to me yet, and I don't think it would weird me out. I guess it depends on who it was.
Right.
But when I was pregnant with Cooper, I remember a random a little old lady rubbed my belly, and I just thought it was cute.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm not like, it's not like in my personal space to me. If someone wanted to touch my belly, I would just be like, okay.
Yeah. Jackson's like, it depends on who I saw rubbing your belly. If I saw some dude rubbing your belly, then...
Yeah, I would not let a guy touch my belly.
Yeah, if some guy was like, can I rub your belly?
No.
Like, which one? Because I know they all look like bellies right now. They're all
nice try, sir. So this says, wow, you look great. What a cute belly. But that still isn't like if you really want to touch someone's belly. I don't know. I don't know what you would say.
I don't even think I'm an asker, but it's usually with people I know. I'm just always like, oh.
Yeah, it doesn't, but
maybe I shouldn't just
I think that's such a personal thing.
Yeah, some women hate it. I don't hate it. I'm like, yeah, touch it. It's cool. I'm always like, feel it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't bother me.
This one wouldn't bother me, but it says, have you picked a name yet?
I can see why that would bother people because I feel like once you reveal the name, people are like, oh, I know this guy who murdered his wife and ate her and that was her name. And then you're like, great, thanks for ruining our name for us.
Yes, a lot of people did that with Gage. I had a lot of people say, oh, I knew this little boy named Gage. He was terrible. I was like,
I know, I'm like, if you don't like the name, just fake it, you know? Just like, great, wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's going to be a little terrorist when he grows up, but whatever.
So this says, if you're curious about someone who is pregnant and what their name might be, say, are you having fun picking a name? How's that going?
How's the name thing going for you?
Yeah. And people have asked me if we've picked a name yet, and if we know the name, then I'll usually tell them. It was hard with me with Winston because I knew that would be a name that some people would be like, oh.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't tell anyone. Okay.
Which I get because there's, like, inevitably somebody will tell you a story that you're like, I could have gone my whole life and never have heard that story and been okay with it.
When people found out we were naming Winston, a lot of people were like, oh, after the cigarette. And I didn't even know there was a cigarette.
I didn't think about that, yeah.
And so I was like, what?
Yes, I'm naming my child after a carcinogen. Yes.
Or a lot of people said, I had a dog named Winston. I have a cat named Winston.
Whatever.
Anyways, it just made me laugh. Okay, so this is another one. Enjoy blank now, because once the baby comes, you can kiss it goodbye. Like sleep.
Yeah, people have said
time together with your spouse, relaxing. Like, I think that we've all heard that. Like, enjoy this now.
Somebody that was like, enjoy your boobs now, because after you've had a baby, I'm like, you forget I've had one child?
I know what happens. So this says, instead say, parenting is certainly full of ups and downs, but it's worth it. And that is so true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not going to get as much sleep. Yeah, you don't get to relax. Like, those things do go away, but it's 100% worth it. Like,
Yeah.
having a baby is the best.
Careful how you say it, too, because, like, Cooper was the best sleeper, still is the best sleeper. He was such a good baby, and so all of that, I was like, but now maybe this baby will be crazy.
I hope not.
Who knows?
Oh, this is a good one. You shouldn't be eating or drinking.
Oh my gosh. If I had $1, if I had a penny for every time someone's like, can you do that when you're pregnant?
You know what's so funny about this comment is I'll actually tell Casey, like, oh, I can't have sushi when you're not supposed to have sushi when you're pregnant. And he'll be like, oh, why? Like, so I feel like I'm always telling him things like I can't eat or drink when I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh, really?
I feel like I read in the comments every day, can you do that when you're pregnant? I'm like, yes, I can sit on my couch and eat pizza. Why?
It's fine. It's not going to hurt me.
I hear it all the time, though.
These are cracking me up. Instead say, boy, does that look delicious.
Boy, does that second helping of all that food you had. Kaylee and I were just giving our Mom Zoo crew crap because we kept eating more sandwiches.
Like, eat more, everyone.
Pregnant people enjoy people who eat a lot, okay?
Oh, this is one I can relate to. I've never had morning sickness.
I haven't.
I'm just kidding.
I just got fat.
This is something when people tell me that they've never had morning sickness, I'm actually like, I am so happy for you that you've never had to go through that.
You had it bad.
I had it bad with Winston and this one, not really with Braylee. I had it a little bit with Gage, but not at all with Braylee. I didn't get sick at all with her. So I probably said that to a lot of people. I didn't get morning sickness. Because you just don't know, like, you didn't.
I use you. I'm like, oh, I don't get morning sick, but my sister-in-law, and she got this pill. So it's like, I try to use you. She's like, shut up. You haven't had it. You don't know.
But, so I've had a lot of people say that. I really am genuinely happy for anyone who's never had to experience it. Yeah. Because it's terrible. So instead you could say, how have you been feeling? Any morning sickness?
Any vomiting over the
toilet?
And
then be like, oh, that sucks. I've never had morning sickness.
Sucks for you.
Oh, this is terrible.
I saw the word ripped.
I was ripped open from end to end.
Oh.
So good luck.
It's fine, though. You'll want to do it again.
It's so true. I remember I was going to beauty school when I was pregnant with Winston. Or not Winston, Braylee. So many women, and a lot of them have had babies.
Oh, great.
They told me so many horror stories that I remember just being terrified. I was like, I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to rip. I was so terrified because I was just like, I can't do any of those things.
I have heard a lot of
people
go
through that.
Like, I think people like to feel like they're relating to you, so they'll tell you their horror stories. And like, I remember my friends like, yeah, I ripped all the way down to my butt, and if they sew you up wrong, you could be going the bathroom out, not out your butt. And I was like, I don't want to go to the bathroom, not out my butt. And I was like freaking out the whole time, like just thinking it was gonna happen to me, and just being like, so if you do have that happen to you, I'm so sorry. I hope you don't go to the bathroom out. But it's part of being like, that's like the most. My OB said that the closest way you can die to being on Earth without actually dying is giving childbirth. And I'm like, it's pretty empowering, I think, as like a woman.
Yeah, it's incredible what your body can do. But I have heard stories that have made me very grateful that I have a C-section. So I've been like, oh, I would much rather have a C-section than have that happen to me.
Oh, it's so scary.
So instead, you could just be like, I had a rough experience, but not all women go through what I did.
Right.
Which is a much better way of saying it.
Yeah, don't scare anyone.
I ripped all the way. So this says, get an epidural.
I feel like it's opposite. Like, people are judgy. Like, you're getting an epidural. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, everybody has a different situation. And I've heard this too. Like, are you breastfeeding? Are you not breastfeeding? Mm-hmm. I saw a really interesting article about this little baby. I didn't even read the article, but basically the baby had passed away from not being fed.
The mom wasn't producing milk, and she didn't really know, and she felt pressured into breastfeeding because that's breast is best. That's like what you're told over and over again. You kind of feel guilty if you don't want to, and I feel like it was she was misinformed about a lot of things, and kind of even the nurses didn't tell her she should give the baby a bottle, which the baby should have. Yeah, she had never had a baby before. She thought she was nursing. She was like nursing constantly, so she thought her baby was getting something, but he wasn't getting anything.
Yeah, the title was very like, he would have lived if I would have just given him a bottle.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that like every mom has a different feeling and has a different situation, and they have to do what's most comfortable for them. And so just don't judge if they get an epidural, if they don't get an epidural, if they breastfeed, if they don't. Like, it's traumatic enough. You could get ripped from end to end, so stop judging.
I feel like sometimes I've done the opposite. Like, you had a baby without anything, like, and not like what, but like just like you're amazing. Yeah. Especially like twins. I know people who have had twins without getting an epidural.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I feel bad now because I have for sure been like, you've done that. You're amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe I overreacted, but I was like, you did good. So anyways, those are just a few things that you probably shouldn't say to pregnant women.
Or just think about it before you say them.
Or if you really want to say those things, you can use the alternative.
Don't say anything Kaylee and I have said in this video today.
Anyways, I just thought it was fun. It's always fun to make light of situations like this and just to laugh about them because people don't mean to be
I do feel like people's intentions are excited. And I think pregnant women are just fun. Like, I'm pregnant, obviously, and I see pregnant women out. I'm just like, oh, so great, so cute. So,
so anyways.
I'm out of breath, so we're probably going to end the episode.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations for upcoming Sister Bumps or maybe our last Sister Bumps episode, let us know.
That we should mud wrestle because it's our last one, like sumo style.
So amazing. I would fall and never be able to get up, especially in mud. Oh, you said sumo.
Well, sumo, I like mix the two and Nutella so we can eat it at the end.
I would never get up.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
We're a champion. This is me.